It's time for 5-Minute Advice for Authors, brought to you by Twin Flame Studios.
Hi, my name is Joanne Holbrook. I'm the author of Your Passport to Parenting. I've raised my children on 4 continents, in 5 countries, and in 5 US states. And what I did while I was traveling was I started researching how other parents around the world parent. And what I found is that there is more than one way to be a good parent. And I share this now in my courses, online and face-to-face, in my speaking events, and helping parents around the world just find that joy again and just find the happiness in their homes that we all crave. The most important thing for readers to get from my book is really just to break the story that when moms have a baby, that we get this download of information and we have everything there. And it's not true. Sometimes we have to go out and find people and to help us along the way. And the whole idea of a singular family is a really new concept for humans now, where we used to have nuclear families, where we had the aunts, the grandparents, the village building our child. Now we have a mom or a dad, and they're expected to give everything to their children. So my book brings the village, the global village, to the parent and just gives them a little help along the way. And I always say, there's more than one way to be a good parent. So in my book, there are multiple ways that you can either use or discard because it doesn't fit for you. For someone wanting to write a book, I think the biggest lesson that I got and the best advice I was given was to write a D or an E manuscript. I think we all go into this process thinking that we have to write an A+ graded manuscript, and that is so intimidating. But going in and going, you know what, I can write an F right now and it'll be totally fine, because on the next edit you'll touch it and you'll change it, and then over time it becomes a much bigger thing, and eventually you'll get it to an A over time. And then when you hit the editor and you work with your editor, then you hit the A+. But I think going in and thinking I have to be perfect, I have to know what I'm doing, is actually just not true. I've seen so many authors go into these writing their manuscripts and totally stopping because it gets overwhelming. So I always say write a D, an E, or an F and go from there. I think the second thing that I was told at the beginning, and it's rung so true for me, is writing the book is just the beginning. It's when you get to the end, you are marketing that book for the rest of your life. And I think the enormity of what that means is huge. And you have to call on people to tell you what's in your blind side. What aren't you seeing? Speaking to people, seeing how they're seeing what you're putting out. And really hitting that marketing phase of your book, not just focusing on, I'm an author, I'm a writer. You have to then flip the switch and become a master marketer. And, I think that is the fun part. That's when the fun starts, because then you can play with this thing you've created that wasn't there before. My favorite part of working with Twin Flame Studios was literally, from beginning to end, it was great. I spoke to Tina, who took me through the process, took me out of my fear zone, held my hand and made me feel like I was going to be safe and I'd be able to do this. Then meeting Stephen, who literally held my hand the whole way through. And I think my most fun part was those moments with him, sitting in my little dark wardrobe where I sat in my walk-in closet, where I sat and recorded, and having him in my ear and just feeling so safe. And I had so much fun. In fact, my next book, the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is doing it in Audible again, because that week we recorded was the most fun I've had in a long time. It was so nice to fail and have someone laugh with you on the other side, and it not being too serious. But it was a serious process for me to read my book. But it just became the most fun I had in the whole process, was the actual reading of the book with him right there.
Thanks for joining us on 5-Minute Advice for Authors. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe for more, and visit us at twinflamestudios.com.